And hello, everybody. I hope you had a good week. I hope that you're having a great weekend so far. This is mostly done. I need to go through and do one final check over it, but I've got this about 80% done. So I should be able to finish up whatever's left this week. I'll maybe schedule the RG award for next Saturday night, or I can do next Sunday night. Maybe I'll put up a poll and people can give their preference as to when they want me to actually do the award show. So we're gonna go through the awards for this year. Sorry, for last year. So what are the RG Awards? What are the RG Awards? The RG Awards is an award show that I do biannually that honors the movers and shakers, the people who most embody the current year, who most embody the society that we live in. They're the people who, when you look at them, you go, you know what? We live in a society. The RG Award, stuff like that. Um, and I initially was doing these on a yearly basis, but I decided to switch this over to biannually, at least for last year, because I figured so much stuff was going to happen relative to the election that I just wouldn't be able to like even do a proper award show. And given how much stuff did happen in the second half of 2025, 2024, I'm pretty happy about it. But I know it's been a while, and I normally try to get these out in like January, but like I said, I haven't been feeling very well, and this actually takes quite a bit of time. I know it doesn't look like it; it's like a shitty PowerPoint, but like I have to get all the stuff, format it. There's a lot of categories and stuff like that, and then get the pictures and stuff. So this takes quite a while to put together, but it's really enjoyable. So the genesis of the Argies is two main sources. The first one is back in university. My friend Abstract and I had this idea for the Third World Awards, where we were just basically going to make fun of poor countries for their corruption and incompetence. And there was going to be a series of awards. We never wound up doing it, but PPP and Godwinson had the Golden Guns, where they gave out awards to lolcows and just for internet drama and stuff like that. And I thought that was a funny idea. And they had kind of some categories in it that I hadn't seen before, like most base boomer, worst take, most wasted comeback. And I like the idea of doing an award show with kind of some goofy awards. And just so much stuff happens in a year, people aren't able to really follow everything. So it's kind of nice to just kind of take a step back and look at it. So we're going to go through the nominees and the honorable mentions. We will not be revealing who won what category at the moment. If anyone has any last minute nominations, feel free to plug them in, and I'll make those changes. So just give me a second. It doesn't look like there's very many people here today, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do, but I digress. Now, the rules for nominees is I try not to include internet shit in this. So I try not to include like lolcow stuff or internet beefs or things like that. I went back on that in a couple of cases just because there was some stuff I felt obligated to put in. But I'm never gonna let like an internet person win. So like Destiny's never gonna win an award. Fuentes is never gonna win an award. None of these people will ever win. They might get nominated though. So that being said, I think this is the fourth biannual. I don't like. How do you word it? Do you word second half or second like 2024 second biannual? I don't know how you word it, but let's get going. So the first category we have is cringe of the year. This one is always a very competitive category. These are the honorable mentions. These are things that didn't quite make it to the final list. Some of these categories were really competitive. So we have the expression, the rules-based international order, kind of speaks for itself. We had Arab Zelensky's CNN interview, which was really cringy. Arab Zelensky is the guy who won the Syrian civil war and is now the interim president. We have Trump's tweets about annexing Canada. We have anything Pierre Poilievre posts on his Twitter account. We had Catholics for Choice posting Mary had a choice too. And we had the wife Jack meme. And you might go, well, Argent, all that stuff is pretty cringe. But we're going to reveal the rest of the list. Okay. So the rest of so the nominees for cringe of the year are, and I try to keep it to 5, but sometimes there's just too many. Whatever, it's my award show. So the cringe of the year is HTS releasing a statement saying diversity is our strength. Yes, the jihadis who took over Syria literally said, I think word for word, diversity is our strength in their statement. We have Translate Hate, the Catholic edition, Catholic Bishops Conference and American Jewish Committee, which is where they go through and they like explain internet memes, like anti-Jewish internet memes, and it's just like the most noses exposed thing I've ever seen, because it's like says that coastal elite and like globalism are anti-Semitic terms and stuff like that. So we have that. We have Elon Musk's H1B Twitter meltdown, the term global majority, and Big Boy press conference. Big Boy press conference was like after the debate, everyone said Biden's senile, so they were going to prove the wrong, and they called it the Big Boy. Like that's not even the joke. I think they called it the Big Boy press conference. And it was like half an hour, and it was just a disaster, and he couldn't answer anything. So amidst all the cringe that happened this year, you'll notice some stuff is missing, but we'll get to that. Anyone in chat want to post what they think should win cringe of the year out of the final nominees? I think we have a pretty good, we have a pretty competitive field. So I'll just wait 30 seconds if anyone wants to participate. Say what they think. I think there's a bit of a delay, so let's give it a second. Maybe I'll talk a bit more about it. It's like, for some of these, I had to redo it the last minute because Elon's Twitter meltdown added a bunch of like additional nominations. And it was literally like until the end of the year stuff kept happening. So I'm going to move on. If people want to let me know which one they think should win, we'll go ahead. So people wanted me to nominate a bunch of Kamala stuff, and there was just too much Kamala things. Like it would have Woke Right by James Lindsay. I don't know. I guess I could throw it in as an honorable mention. It's cringe, but it's kind of lame. I'll add that maybe to the honorable mentions. So there was so much cringe related to the Kamala campaign. I invented a special award just for her, the Kamala Campaign Cringe Award, or the KKK Award. So here's a couple honorable mentions. The Waltz is my dad meme, all of the I'm blank and I'm voting for Kamala memes, and the 20 minutes on the Call Her Daddy podcast. So I don't think people will like what wins cringe of the year, but you'll see. So the Kamala campaign cringe final ones are as follows: white guys for Kamala, the I'm a man and I'm voting for Kamala ad, the coconut tree / brat meme, souls to the polls, and we did it, Joe. So this one is really competitive. Oh, I misspelled her name. Oh, whatever. It's part of the joke. Maybe. I don't know. Shows how little I care. So I don't know if people want to pick. Let me just make a note there. Fix. I don't know. Like this one was tough. Um, like she got her own category. She was that cringy. Um, so I don't know what do people think? What is the cringiest thing that Kamala's campaign did? This one I do have a winner, but it's a close call. It was like a gnat swing. People might not like the one that I picked, but uh, I don't know. It's this one was tough. Okay. Next category. We have worst take. This is always the category that has the most nominations. I'm not really sure how to um I don't like know how to even divide this up into maybe something else, like multiple categories. Some of these I've had to divide up because there's just so many of them. It's hard. So these are just the not honorable mentions. This was a quote from early in the year. You're all already polyamorous for most things: books, songs, ideas, cities, apps, movies. All I'm saying is maybe we should consider polyamory in one more category. We have David Petraeus saying, I support forever wars. He did actually say that, like, directly. We have Nick Fuentes' rant about how Lord of the Rings is gay. We have Elon Musk saying only 6% of federal employees actually work. We have people voted for Trump because they support rape. And that should tell you how competitive this field is, that that's only an honorable mention. We have Michael Caine as a pedophile for marrying a 25-year-old when he was 40. We have Boris Johnson saying we need to give Ukraine $1 trillion. And we have Elon Musk saying if you need a school, you've lost already. So I think any of these could be a nominee in another year, but it was very competitive. Once again, internet celebrities are not allowed to win the award. Okay, so here are the worst takes of nominees for 2024. I might need to take some of these out. Okay, so we will send so we have Justin Trudeau sending confiscated 22 long rifle carbines to Ukrainian soldiers to fight Russia. That was a thing in Canada where they confiscated a whole bunch of military style firearms, including 22 LRs, and they gave them to the Ukrainian army because somehow that was, I don't know, that was just something they did. We have Elon Musk. Unless we have unlimited immigration from India, we will never reach Mars. We have Neil Stone testing vaccines as anti-science. We have Nick Fuentes' rant about how Sinwar and Hezbollah are losers because they fought Israel. We have we have people saying that Trump's children are anchor babies and should be deported as they are not legal citizens. Oh no, wait a minute, did I have that twice? Oh, okay, I have to take that out. Okay, that's my bad. Let me just make a note of that. People voted for Trump because they support rape. And Time Magazine supporting ultra processed foods to blow out RFK Jr. So RFK did like a video and he talked about like how super processed foods and seed oils and chemical additives and stuff like that is making people sick. So Time Magazine ran this big article saying that uh ultra processed chemical food is actually a good thing. Um so I don't know. Second, they had half scale M. Yeah, was the closest possible firearm to a toy. I've kind of wanted to get a 1911 22 at some point. Oh no, you can't buy pistols in Canada at all. Okay, so that's out. You just can't get them. Period. I can't miss such magnanimous events. Well, it's just I don't know. It's just the way it is. Um, Okay, should people voted for Trump because they support rape be a nominee or an honorable mention? I might put it on the leave it on the nominee. This one actually okay. I'm not. I don't mean to give it away. This one was nominated. I had this picked out, and literally it was clutch. Literally on the last day of 2024, we had to take so bad that it had to change uh to change it. So I'm sure that kind of gives away what's going to win this one, but yeah. Okay, best take. Honorable mentions. Okay, we have Blue Sky banning users for election denial. Blue Sky is the liberal only Twitter alternative, and people were denying the election, and that was against the TOS. So a bunch of liberals got banned. We have my friend Terrellian who said baseball is a turn-based strategy game with real-time and RPG elements, which I just thought was really funny. We have Elon Musk saying Justo is an insufferable tool. And we have Destiny's son pretending to assassinate him. Now, is that technically a take? No, but his son said Destiny is a cuck. And A-logging Destiny as his son is... It's enough to get an honorable mention. Okay, so we have the best takes of 2024 nominations. I admit I give myself a nominee in this category a lot, but I come up with, I think, some pretty good memes. For, at least one. We have me for vote early, vote often. We have 0 seats for the Conservative Party in the UK. We have 2-tier policing for Sargon and others for the UK. We have Trump calling Justo the governor of Canada. And we have Lord Miles, who went to Canada and then got banned from Canada, is not allowed to come back, saying, my favorite pastime in Canada is going on a crackhead safari. Oh, Academic Agent did 0 seats? Okay, I'll change that. Thank you for that. I will make that change. So, I don't know. Not the best field we've ever had, but there's some good stuff. Best take is always like a hard one. I often have to just pick stuff that's not actually a take. I don't know. By the way, the last worst take I think was like the best worst take we've ever had, which was Jon Stewart saying that Jon Stewart said that we can't have like clean and orderly cities, and we can't have people not shit on subways because of my freedom, which I thought was funny. Okay, so we have biggest snake. Biggest snake was there was a number. This one was pretty competitive. We had a bunch of ones that could be the final one in any other year. It's just there was one, and I'm pretty sure people can guess which one won this, that kind of undid everything. So we have NYT publishing the Istanbul proposal. We have the media and DNC ousting Biden in a palace coup. We have everything Erdogan did in 2025. We have Fuentes going back and forth between being pro-Trump and anti-Trump and trying to run the event to cost him Michigan. And we have Trudeau and Krista Freeland snaking on each other, which led to an implosion of the Justo government. So I'm sure everybody can guess which one won. But honestly, Erdogan is always like a front runner, always a competitor for Snake of the Year. And Trudeau and Krista Freeland probably would have won in any other year. So keep in mind, this is second half of 2024. Okay, so we have the Israeli Optics Award, which might be retired. Might be retired after this. Now that the war stopped, at least for a little while. This was created because Israel was just filling up so many other categories. It's kind of like Kamala campaign cringe. It's a containment award. So this is the optical things that Israel did in the second half of 2024. I think the Pagers was second half of 2024. Okay, so the optical Israel Optics Award, the nominees are infiltrating global supply chains to plant explosives within Hezbollah's pagers, assassinating the leader of Hamas while he was in Iran on a diplomatic vision, live streaming the rape of Palestinians, the IDF having the pro-rape riots, invading Syria in self-defense immediately after Assad fell, and live streaming the torture of Palestinian prisoners to Ben Gvir for his personal pleasure. And these are the Israeli optics of 2024. They really pulled it out. Like last time, I think it was the bombing the embassy, but they really turned it up to 11 in the second half of 2024. So I'm not sure if people can even guess which one it was, which one won. But yeah. We have the biggest collective L. So this initially was biggest L and biggest W, but there was too many nominees. So there's biggest collective L and biggest individual L, and then biggest collective W and biggest individual W. So the biggest collective L honorable mentions: Ukraine for the Kursk offensive, Ubisoft going bankrupt, Romania for having its election canceled by the EU, and the EU's economy is basically all going into recession because they removed all of their cheap gas from Russia. These are the honorable mentions. The biggest collective L's are as follows: the Syrian government for losing the civil war in 2 weeks, women in America for losing all of their rights when Trump won re-election, Israel for the failed Lebanon offensive, the Concord development team for spending $100 million on one of the shittiest games ever, and the entire thing just being a clusterfuck and having, what was it, peak like 3,000 players, and the Kurds in general, because they're kind of screwed currently where they are. So those are the biggest collective L's. I think one does stand out pretty strongly, but I think they're all pretty decent ones. I decided to kind of give Ukraine a bit of a break this time because they get so many. Because the spring offensive, I forget the spring offensive one or not, but I'm just giving the Kursk offensive here as like a, yeah. So, okay, biggest individual L. Okay, so here is this one is also this one was ultra competitive. So the nominees for the biggest individual L of the year are as follows: Kamala for losing the general election to Trump, Justo for the Freeland resignation, budget disaster, and being removed in a palace coup, Biden for the debate and getting removed in a coup, Yoon's failed coup in South Korea where he tried to take power and it failed in like 3 hours, and Ishiba losing his majority in Japan due to just incompetence and other stuff. So this one's tricky because it's kind of a quality or quantity thing. So like Justo just has so many L's this last year, it's hard. But like Yoon's coup was one of the just the lamest, most pathetic attempts at anything I've ever seen. It was just such a massive humiliation. Now Destiny is not going to be on here because it's internet stuff. Also, I think Destiny stuff happened after January started. So this one's really hard. I picked one. I don't think people are going to like the one that I picked, but it's rough. I do admit that there's some fortification of elections. So sometimes I will give somebody else an award. Like here, I might give Biden the biggest L, but I won't give him the biggest snake, or something like that to try to go over it. Okay, biggest collective W. Georgia for getting EU ascension frozen. HTS for winning the Syrian civil war. Turkey, America, and Israel for finally defeating Assad. Hezbollah for completely just the humiliating defeat of Israel in southern Lebanon. Argentina's economic miracle, and Weaves for the introduction of Lucy. Is it Luce or Lucy? I'm never really sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. Pretty competitive field. I kind of went with a bit of a dark horse for this one, but Georgia won last time. Georgia won for the forward agents law. There's like, why did I write Weaves like it's an acronym? Because I can. That's why. Because I can. Because I wanted to. So, I don't know. Like, this is always a good category. We had the Houthis who won this because they completely shut down the Red Sea and there was nothing the U.S. could do about it. And then Georgia wins the foreign agents bill. So, I don't know. It's a good field for this one. Okay, so then we have the biggest individual W. So, the first nominee is Kamala Harris's husband for not having to become the first dude. I need to correct that to first dude. He did not have to suffer the humiliation of becoming the first dude in American history. The amount of cucketry that would be, and to forever be known as like the spouse of Kamala Harris. I think that is a W. We have Elon for gaining massive influence over global politics and becoming the head of Doge. We have Biden for getting his revenge on Kamala for the palace coup and basically scuttling the election. We have Macron for defeating the National Rally in the French election. We have Trump for winning the 2024 election, and Hunter for getting a 10-year pardon. Once again, pretty competitive. There's a couple here that I think any one of them could win. Specifically, I think like Trump and Hunter and Biden are all very competitive. Macron did like his 4D chess move. I can't. Maybe that was in the first half of 2024. I'm gonna have to. Okay, Chad Stacey of the Year. Our nominees for Chad or Stacey of the Year, we have a lot of people on this who basically get nominated every time. The nominees for Chad of the Year are Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, Daniel Penny, Javier Milei, Steve Saylor, and Nayib Bukele. Which basically Trump, Putin, and Bukele get nominated every single time. And then it's just throwing a couple extra people in. So, yeah. I think people can guess who's going to win this one. One person here literally got shot and was a chat about it. And that's enough to put him over the top. Argie's got, well, it's because Candace Owen got nominated once. It's because Candace Owen got nominated, so it changed from Chad of the Year to Chad / Stacey of the Year was was what wound up happening. So I mean, I'm gonna give this one away. Trump won this one. I mean, Daniel Penny did like a king move, but Trump literally got shot, then jumped up and yelled, "Fight, fight," which was, once again, if you're like in your 70s and you're able to do that, like I'd be crying like a bitch. I'd be like hiding under the Secret Service agents. I think he showed, if nothing else about Trump, that showed a lot of personal courage. In a way that I think deserves it. For that. Okay, Gamer of the Year. This is for somebody who is the biggest gamer of the year. Now, Gamer of the Year, people kind of don't really get what that means. I think this dates back to Encyclopedia Dramatica, where they referred to mass shooters as being getting a high score. So a gamer is like somebody who's like autistic or a sociopath or something and treats life like a video game. It's also just supposed to be kind of ironic in terms of um like it's just kind of a funny, it's like how when I used to do the dissident rights survey, people would put gamer down. It's just the annotation of video games that emerged after Gamergate. Hopefully I explained that. So this one was also pretty competitive. We had the rapper P Diddy, we had Joe Biden, President Yoon of South Korea, Keir Starmer of the UK, Bibi Netanyahu, and Yahya El Sinwar. Now, people probably will disagree with this, but one of these people had probably the most video game-esque event I've ever seen, and that kind of pushed them over the top. But like we have P Diddy running like whatever his rape drug ring. We have Joe Biden for all the crazy shit he did. Keir Starmer for like the massive crackdown and arresting people over social media posts and trying to steal all the farmers' lands. Netanyahu speaks for himself. Netanyahu previously won for his plan to deport all the Palestinians to the Congo. So, okay, the We Live in a Society Award. Okay, so this is for something that that kind of goes best. So once again, with like Yoon, he's getting a lot of nominations. So as I've said, this is somewhat fortified, so he might get it in one spot and then not get it in another spot, just so there's a bit more variety. So this is where you can say, we live in a society where. Something that I think just kind of summarizes the current situation. The first nomination is the Secret Service agent abandoning Trump to breastfeed. That did happen. He was at an event and they just left. They just fucked off to go breastfeed their kid. We have the Duke sports team for the whole thing being complete and total bullshit. We have the death of Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. We have the abortion and vasectomy trucks at the DNC. We have American election ballot tracking, which is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. That you could track like your ballot online, like it's Amazon or something. That just seems really prone to abuse. We have Kate Blanchett starring in Borderlands, and we have Joker 2, a movie that was guaranteed to make oodles of money, being a $200 million troll and a massive just fuck you to the audience. Now, I actually did watch the Borderlands movie. I just never got around to reviewing it. It was disappointing because it like wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was just really lame and boring. It wasn't really like as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was like a normal bad movie bad and not like catastrophically bad. So it was a massive disappointment. I just never got around to reviewing it. Okay. Fred the Raccoon also gets included. There was a Borderlands movie. Kate Blanchett, despite being in her 50s, I think, was Lilith for some reason. I don't know why. And Jamie Lee Curtis was Tanith. And Jack Black was Claptrap. And it was bad. It was bad. It was worse because it wasn't even funny bad. It was just lame. When I was coming back from Ontario, I watched it on the movie. No one cared about it, but it's a we live in a society moment. Um, that they just did that. Okay, we have this is the honor. Okay, so we live in a society. What happened was the UK and Canada were just dominating the We Live in a Society award list. Like they were just such a high proportion of them were from there. They had to be split off and spun off into its own category. So these are the honorable mentions for We Live in an Anglo Society. We have the UK police accounts telling people they are arresting them for Twitter posts. They would just post that in response. We have the UK protests. We have Justin Trudeau extending the mortgage duration as an affordability measure. Yeah, like Jack Black is in the Minecraft movie. Why? Like, I've never played Minecraft really, so I don't really have any interest in it, but it might have been like a fun kids movie, but they have to fucking insert Jack Black in it. They had to like make the Mario movie worse by putting Jack Black in it. Jack Black needs to just be like physically removed from America to stop ruining things. He wasn't funny 20 years ago, he's not funny now. School of Rock was the most aggressively mediocre. I Either that or Iron Man 2 is probably the most mediocre movie I've ever seen. Um, okay, there was the attempt to extradite Americans to Britain over social media posts. We have Justo promoting a suicide prevention hotline despite bringing in gassing disabled and depressed people. We have me realizing it was easier to get service in English in Europe than it was in Canada. And I noticed this on like a regular basis. Um, where I live, it's hard to get service in English. Like if I want to get a coffee or something, like they fucked my coffee up last week and I actually got kind of mad about it. My coffee is it was literally just I want a normal coffee with milk in it. Uh Shalom Argent, be a good goy and give it to B. But this is just the honorable mentions. This isn't even the nominees. So the nominees for We Live in an Anglo Society Award. These are the actual nominees. We have medically assisted dying for an autistic person in Canada. It's been in it's been extended in Canada that you can get gassed. I just call it euthanasia getting gassed because it's what it is. For people who are autistic or have depression or basically anything now, you can go. And there was a lawsuit in Alberta where the woman's parents, God bless them, were trying to sue to prevent her from getting gassed. And the judge ruled, because they were a Canadian judge, that not letting her gas herself would have done unnecessary harm, and it was cruel and unusual to not allow her to put herself in the gas chamber. We had a town in Ontario that was fined for not celebrating Pride Month. So there was a town in Ontario that didn't put up a pride flag. So they were sued by some BLT organization, and the mayor had to pay a $20,000 fine, and the town had to pay a fine for not celebrating Pride Month. We had the Palestinian protesters shutting down the Pride Parade in Toronto. They just showed up and completely shut it down. We have Indians in Canada raiding food banks to save money. It's not trying. They are. The legislation is on the which one are we talking about? I don't know what you're referring to. So Indians and Canada rank food banks to save money. So just to let in like hundreds of thousands of Indians. So because the Indians come from a low trust society, immediately what they did was they've just started raiding all the food banks. So all the food banks in Canada. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Uh, they went to all the food banks in Canada and they just took all the food, and this includes middle and upper middle class Indians. Like there's one guy on I think it was TikTok who was making like 80 grand a year, and he was telling other Indians like how to steal from food banks. So all the food assistance in Canada is completely overwhelmed because Indians have taken it. Okay, we have in the UK taking away farmers' land. Now, this is a very competitive field. Once again, it's a quality versus quantity thing. Like doing some sort of South African style land grab is pretty over the top and pretty big on a societal level. Gassing autistic people is pretty bad. The town of Ontario fine for not celebrating Pride Month is very Canadian. And the Palestinian protesters shutting down the Pride Parade is also very Canadian. Okay, I'm going to admit it. I really like curry. I make myself curry a lot. I tend to make a massive pot of it, mix it with rice, and freeze it, and that's normally my lunch. Normally either chicken curry or beef curry. So, okay. G Slur Op of the Year Award, or the Gay Op of the Year Award. We have the following honorable mentions: the EU threatening to assassinate the leader of Georgia. We have the DDoSing of the Trump Elon Musk interview. We have Ukraine's involvement in Africa. We have the deep strikes. Oh no, that should be deep strikes into Russia. Um, so I do. The only thing with the curry I don't make is the sauce. I just buy the sauce, but like the rest of it, I just cook myself. Turns out really good. You get some, well, bell peppers, onion, chicken. I like to put in lentils and chickpeas and black beans and what else do I put in? Getting some nice like curly parsley and chopping that up and throwing that in. That's good. And that's kind of like how I make my curry. I think there's a couple other things I put in. I mix that with rice, so it's tasty. Okay, so we have the Ukraine's involvement in Africa, where they were sending like commando forces into Niger, I think it was, where they were supporting, I think, like a Niger government, like a terrorist group attacking the Niger government or something, and it led to this big thing. It just didn't. It was just retarded. Like, what is Ukraine doing in Africa? We have Putin offering asylum for conservative Westerners, which I think is an amazing troll. UK taking away farmers' lands in the Kursk offensive. Okay. Maybe I should take out UK. Um. Okay. Did I just? Oh, okay. All right. So G slot. So Gay Op award of finalists are Nick's attempt to sink Trump's campaign by running interference in Michigan. Canada confiscating 22 LR carbines to give to Ukraine. Zelensky trying to get nuclear weapons for Ukraine. Well, I have to fix these. I fucked up on the UK land one. Uh, okay. I need to go in and fix that. And Matt Gaetz getting nominated for Attorney General, then withdrawing. getting nominated for Attorney General, resigning from Congress, and then withdrawing from the nomination so he could try to avoid the ethics complaint. So, pretty competitive field. So, I don't even remember which one won this. I might have to rework this category a bit. I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe I just didn't update this one properly. Okay. Double check. Jeez. Just writing some stuff down. Okay. 40 chess plan award finalists. So I split Gay Op Award into two categories, like the Gay Op for the dumb thing and the Gay Op for the smart thing. So, the Gay Op for the smart things are as follows: RFK joining the Trump campaign, Biden getting revenge on literally everybody, Erdogan for engineering the collapse of Syria, and Macron's bizarre 4D chess plan that somehow led him to beating the national rally. I mean, this is a competitive field. I think any of these are pretty good. I don't even remember which one I gave this to. I might have to change this one. It's like RFK joining Trump is obviously not one of the finalists, but these three are really tough. Any one of these could be the victor. Okay, all right. We have the Third World Award honorable mentions. We have the Secret Service protection of Trump. We have the unknown drones in the USA. We have the Iranian president's helicopter crash. We have the U.S. shutting down its TNT and other critical weapons production, and the Chase Manhattan Bank withdrawal glitch. So the final nominees for the Third World Award are as follows. This was what somebody said about Daniel Penny. If you're a woman, get to another car, get off and wait for the next one. Plenty of options other than murdering someone. That is, if you feel uncomfortable with rapists or gropers on trains, as a woman, it's your job to get off. We have America taking over a month in some cases to count the votes. We have Biden being removed in a palace coup. We have Biden pardoning Hunter and I guess the rest of his family, so they just got away with literally everything. And we have the collapse of the Assad government. So, I don't know. We've got some decent ones here as well. And then the final two categories, we have F-Slur of the Year. And the nominees for the F-Slur of the Year are Tony Blinken, Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer, Tim Walz, and Destiny. It's, I don't know, any of these guys could win it. Tony Blinken's is a strong candidate. He's been back. He's been won this award in the past. Would anybody mind if I remove some of these if I didn't think that I had enough decent nominees for it? Yeah, maybe for some of the awards I might remove them if and they can be on hiatus for a semester or for a biannual. Like it's hard. Now I'm gonna tell you that Destiny can't win because he's an internet guy. So it's kind of an honorable mention. I just didn't have enough people to put on the honorable mention list. But like Blinken, Sunak, Starmer, and Walz are all super competitive. Like any of these guys could get it. And then the final award, Lol Cow of the Year. We have Tim Pool, Joe Biden, Nicholas Fuentes, Kamala Harris, and what if alt hissed. Now, two of these people can't win. Fuentes can't win, and what if alt hiss can't win. So we're left with Tim Pool, Joe Biden, or Kamala Harris. So, yeah, those were the nominees. Lolcow of the Year was hard. Um, like Tim Pool's meltdown was it's kind of a quality versus quantity one. This year. Once again, it's like the it's hard. It's hard. Uh there's something that pushed this over the top. We discussed it earlier. There's something that pushed this over the top for the person who won, but it's a stacked field. It's a stacked field. I'm gonna be honest. What if Alt Hiss would probably win? Um, no. Well, Fuentes had like a meltdown over the election. I don't know. Maybe I'll take him off it because I have a lot of viewers who are big fans of his. So those are the Argie Awards nominees for 2025, 2024. And those are the people. I'll clean this up a bit, and then in a week or two, we will have the award show, and we will find out who won the RG Awards. And remember, it's it's an honor just to be nominated. So God bless everybody.